Hey guys, welcome to the basement. Welcome to the live stream. We are preparing for an epic battle. Silver investors in particular, but also gold. We're going to talk about that in this video. An epic battle that for silver could bring it to new all-time highs. And I can't believe that I'm saying this to you right now. I cannot believe it. I thought at best we would be looking 1 or 2 months out into the future, but it could be happening, guys, and it could be happening right now. We're going to explore that in this video. Thank you for being here, by the way. Do you feel like doing something nice? Doesn't it feel good to do nice things? Well, it sure would be nice of you, my fellow basement dwellers, if you gave this a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, I want to say thank you for being here, right? It's really not Ron's basement. It's your basement. We come together. I hope you found a little home away from home where we can get together, hang out. Hey, it's 5 o'clock on a Friday and talk about silver and gold because you really are the most important part of Ron's basement. Let's go out and just take a quick look at what happened. Did anybody check at what happened today in the silver and gold market? We'll go to our friends at Yahoo Finance. Look at gold. Oh, they just couldn't let it happen, could they? $2,399.80. Make sure I got you turned on, which I do. Look at silver, $31.52. Now, what are we talking about in regards to this big battle? Guys, this is a big deal and something that we could be looking at in the next week or two with silver. And again, it very likely, a good likely outcome of this battle if the silver warriors are successful, right? All these people out there, all the people in the United States, the growing number of us that are buying silver, we know we've got plenty of help from our friends in China and India, right? I mean, they love their silver. They're sucking. Wait till you see tomorrow. It just never stops, never ceases to amaze me what is going on with silver in China and India. But we're not talking about that. We're going to be talking about what's going on in the Western markets. Bitcoin, by the way, and look, I'm not an anti-Bitcoin person. I'm not into crypto or Bitcoin, but Bitcoin has been having a little bit of a trouble lately, down to only $56,000 per Bitcoin. But let's get back at it. I need to ask you a question. Are you prepared, silver investors, basement dwellers, for what is going to be an epic battle? I'm going to share it with you right now. And again, this could result in unbelievable price moves for silver. So let's go out to the chart. I want to show you a couple things with silver, and then we're going to talk about the epic battle. Here we are on Trading View. This is the silver chart. This is a 3-month silver chart. Okay, now let's go back first and look at a 5-year chart and recognize something that has happened with silver. Okay, this is a 5-year chart. This is about 4 years ago. This took 4 years to occur. This is the price of silver over the last 4-year period. Guys, we went through a period with Michael Oliver. I love that guy. He called it he said, throw out the data from the last 3 or 4 years because it was so uncharacteristic of silver. But nonetheless, look at how the price was just trading in this very narrow range. I mean, if you take out these couple little sections right here, we really traded within like a $3 or $4 or $5 range most of that period. It was I'll call it a wedge pattern that we broke out of here back in April. And look at where we've gone now. That's not the battle. Let's talk about the battle right now without further ado. Okay, let's go over here to try to find a chart that'll really show it. I think, well, maybe even a 3-month chart will show it. Yeah, we'll show it even better. In the world of nature, in the world of technical analysis, okay, it's a well-known fact that when something hits a top and comes back and goes back and hits a top again, that's called a double top, that a third top, a triple top, is like almost never heard of. Now, I do want to put in that as far as I understand, we did have a triple top in the gold price before gold finally broke out, and we know what gold's doing now. But look at this with silver. See if I can draw a line on here for you. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to draw a little line for you guys because this is super important. Okay, there we go. There's a line right around what, $32.25 in silver. As you can see, we got up to that level when back in late May of 2024. We got there again. No, wait a minute. Is that the same day? May 24th. We bumped up against this 32.13. Okay, hold on a minute here. Something's not working. Monday, the 20th of May. Okay, here we go. Yes, a couple of times we tried to break above 32.50 per ounce. Okay, if we get there, and this is the battle right here, right? If we get there and then we get to this level again and we break through, we're really, really close. I cannot believe that we're talking about this already because it's all happening, in my opinion, very prematurely. But we got to look at the big picture. What is going on right now in the world, okay, geopolitically, and when you couple with that, what is going on in the United States from a monetary perspective and a fiscal perspective, right? What our government is doing. We are in a situation that we've never been in before. The result of that is quite simply this, that events are occurring, number one, on a much more extreme level, and number two, much more frequently. So maybe we were wrong, right? We talked about, my expectation for this was that we would face this battle sometime 4.5, 5.5, 6.5 weeks from now. That was my prediction. In hindsight, I may be very wrong, depending on how things play out next week, right? We could be facing this battle to break above 32.50 per ounce. And guys, that is new all-time high territory for silver. We'll touch on that in a second. But what we have to recognize right now, what is going on, right, is that suddenly everyone has realized that the U.S. economy is slowing. You know, I was at the neighborhood 4th of July party yesterday, and I have some wealthy neighbors, okay? And one of them owns an advertising marketing firm that does advertising marketing campaigns for big name brand companies whose names I guarantee you would recognize. I asked him, I said, hey, how do you see things playing out right now in the economy? I actually hadn't talked to him for like 6 months. Great guy, great friend, just hadn't seen him and bumped into him, anything else. Last time I talked to him, things were going gangbusters. He said, oh my gosh, it's like night and day. Things are slowing down. And the products that he's running these marketing campaigns for are discretionary, I would say discretionary type items, meaning it's not bread, it's not gas, it's items that if you're at the store and you see it and you've got a little extra money, it's something that's, not like a luxury item, but something that you might say, yeah, you know what, I'm going to try that. I'm going to buy that. I want to get that. He said things are slowing down. The other thing we need to think about right now, and this is all playing into the silver and gold price and this epic battle that we're going to be facing, is that the employment numbers. Okay, everybody now all of a sudden everybody's today was a shift in the tide of the employment situation when we got the jobs number. Now everybody's like, oh, the jobs, can you feel it? Now everybody's talking about how the jobs, how the employment picture in this country is slowing down, right? And that, again, that is super bullish in this make-believe synthetic world that we're temporarily dealing with. That is super bullish for the silver price and the gold price. I'm going to talk more about this on tomorrow's live stream, but now everybody's saying the Fed's got to cut rates twice this year, right? And again, that is super bullish, super supportive for the silver price and the gold price. So as we face this epic battle in silver, And now I want to talk about and then I forgot to tell you guys a little bit later, I'm going to introduce you to a new website that is crazy interesting and has everything to do with gold and silver. But in the interim, as we're facing this battle that we're heading into, we're doing it with the backdrop of a slowing economy. Suddenly everybody's everything. I said that these last 5 months were going to be interesting. I'm not bragging either. I'm not bragging because I'm often wrong. But on Monday and Tuesday of this week, I sat here in the basement with you, and it's the biggest pleasure in the world to get to join you down here in the basement. But we talked about how today, Friday, July 5th, would be the biggest day of the year for the silver, for the biggest news day, right, of the second half. Well, I got news for you. There's a new biggest news day. That'll be Thursday of next week. We'll talk about that in a second. But we were right. We sat down here and talked about it, basement dwellers, about the fact that silver could go up by $1 today. My prediction for next week is flat. Okay, don't get mad at me. I hope I'm wrong. But I do think in the next week or two, so it could be, right? It could be later this week. I'd be surprised if it is, but I've been surprised lately that we're going to face that battle. But I'm thinking we're going to be flattish next week, okay? Don't make any financial decisions based on anything that I'm saying. But Thursday of next week, guess what we're going to get? It'll be the biggest news event now, even bigger than what we had today for the rest of the inflation numbers. And I want you to think about something, okay? Use your 3D chess abilities. You don't play checkers. Well, you do. You're probably really good at checkers. You don't just play chess. You play 3D chess. So think about next week, the inflation. Number one, the economy is crashing. All right, well, slowing down significantly. Okay, the housing market's frozen. I mean, are you going to listen to her? Let's get her out. What do you say? It's Friday night. Hey, it's Friday. Who doesn't want to do a little party with her? Don't listen to her. Aunt Janet. Yeah, everything's great out there, everybody. What are you complaining about? The economy's strong. Just go get yourself another third or fourth job. Yeah. Put her away. The economy's slowing down. I talk to people that are in the home improvement business, and everywhere you look, the economy is slowing down. So next week, use your 3D chess abilities. This is the kind of stuff we enjoy, right? Because you're smarter than the average bear, right? That bear's smart. He likes First Mining Gold, channel sponsor. And, he also likes Fortuna Mining, but nonetheless, channel sponsor. You can check out both those companies at their respective websites. They're stocks that I own. I eat what I cook. Oh, no. Yeah, I cook my own eating. You know what I'm talking about. If I'm going to take a sponsorship from any of these companies, it's going to be something that I'm invested in. But don't you do anything based on what I'm doing, right? I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm honest with you about those companies that I own, right? I also happen to love Pimbex. I loved them before they were a sponsor of my channel, so it made it even like a double love fest when they did sponsor my channel, because I know at Pimbex, when I buy my silver, I get the best prices, best selection, best service, everything I need, okay? So if you're in the market for some silver, gold, or platinum, do yourself a favor and check out Pimbex. 3D chess. Look, guys, jobs down, unemployment rate up. Very good for the silver price and the gold price. Now, next week, we're going to get the inflation numbers. Think about this. Economy going down. Everything's bad, right? Nobody has money. No, except the dollar store. They're probably $1.25 store, but whatever you want to call it, they're doing pretty good. But think about this, basement dwellers. Next week, they're going to want to print low inflation numbers. Then they can say it's Bidenomics. It's working, right? I don't know. Who knows if he's going to be our presidential candidate? Well, that's not a political show, but anyway, that's what's going on in the world right now. We don't know if our current president, and we don't know if he knows. I don't even know. Nobody knows what's going on, but that's the world that we get to live in. Isn't it wonderful? That's the leader of our country. My gosh, I feel so confident. Hey, guess what? I'm getting off track. Let me get back to this. Next week, here's the deal. They're going to print this. maybe it will happen next week. They're gonna say inflation's low. That'll be good for Bidenomics, right? Bidenomics, it's working. Disasternomics, right? As long as you're part of the 1%, it's working. You're doing great. Okay, but when they make that low inflation print, this is the way it all comes together, the big puzzle piece. That will be considered to be bullish for the price of silver and gold. Why? Because if the Fed's winning the fight on inflation with the help of Bidenomics, then the Fed can cut rates. Yahoo! Right? Yeah, I mean, it's a big clown show, but we got to go to it. That's all I can say, right? It's a big clown show. It's a big cluster bomb. I wish I could cuss on my channel, but I made a commitment not to cuss. It's a big poop show. I mean, it's a big joke. It's all synthetic. It's all make-believe. It's not real, okay? It's not real. And what I keep making a mistake. I'm sorry. I apologize, guys. I keep forgetting, right, that because it's it is bad, baby, that things are falling apart at a faster pace. Lynette Zhang said it. I don't know, it's probably been 9 weeks now. I need to have her back on again. But the first time I had her on the show, I said, Lynette, why do things feel so crazy? You know what she said? She said, Ronnie, don't worry, little Ronnie. It feels crazy because it is crazy. It always feels crazy right before it ends. None of it makes sense. It's all synthetic, right? All the money printing and blah, blah. We talked about this earlier today. The stock market. Man, I'm telling you, okay, I worked for a Big Four accounting firm rather briefly, and I left on my own accord. I can say that, but I understand finance and accounting and the markets. The stock market is the biggest bubble Ponzi scheme in the history of the planet. Okay, and then you got crypto world, but I won't go there. Okay, I'm not going to go there. I love the crypto people. They share a lot of the same beliefs we do. But then on top of it, with the stock market, not only is it a bubble Ponzi, but on top of it, it's all measured in dollars, which is another bubble Ponzi. It's crazy. This, right, is silver. This is the antithesis. Is that the right word? I don't know. Opposite. That's your silver of the day. Isn't that pretty? Okay. It's the opposite of it all. It's real. It's real money, right? I mean, and when you talk, I told you I walked around my neighborhood with this nice young man, smart, educated, has a PhD. Okay. All right. I walked around in the neighborhood parade with him yesterday. He's in the financial planning business now. I mean, he said to me, he said, well, gold just hasn't had good returns. Oh, hey, Silver Surfer. All right, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. I'm going to read that out in a second. Silver Surfer, thank you. But he's like, oh, gold. I'm like, dude, you need to look at your charts. Gold and silver have done really well. I got something I'm going to share. I got to remember. I hope I don't lose. So much to remember. And I appreciate you guys helping me and sticking with me. We are in an epic battle for silver, but silver was like the best performing asset of everything. It was either the last quarter or the first 6 months of the year. It came out, I think, from Deutsche Bank. I'm going to have that for you tomorrow. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. Things are happening faster. The economy is stronger. All this happens. Oh, and it's all happening. Okay. Even icing on top of the cake. Right. This is all happening at a situation when geopolitically and fiscally and monetarily, we've never been in a worse spot in this country. Never. Right. Never. And there's a big difference. I don't want to keep beating the dead horse. Right. But there's a massive difference between where we are now in this poop show situation that our politicians and leaders have gotten us into. Way different now than where we were in the 1940s, where everybody says, wow, we were in the same position in the 1940s. Yeah, we had also just conquered the world. Fortunately, had won the World War. We're the leading only country in the world that had any manufacturing capacity. Go figure, right? It was different then. It was different then. Things are different now. Yeah, things are different now, Albert Eisenhower, right? Wouldn't you say, guys, things are different now? I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. So we're in this epic battle with silver. Thank you, Matt. Hey, let's go take a look. Hold on here. Stacking Surfer had a good comment. Let's see what he had to say. Hello, Silver Surfer. I'm sorry. Silver Surfer. My apologies. My math says any country that does not have 2 ounces of silver per capita after 2026 cannot aspire to be or remain a first world nation. Very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat, Silver Surfer, and your support. You're around here a lot. I'm going to come back to your comment in a second here, but Matt Peterson says silver and gold to the moon in the next 6 months. And he did not put a question mark after that, my friends. He put an exclamation point. I'm going to point that out to you. And Alistair, thank you for your super chat. Thank you, guys. Hey, now look, I want to talk about this, what Silver Surfer just said. Hold on here. Hopefully you guys are still with me. Yep, you are. Okay. Thank you, Alistair. And that is this. This is crazy talk. Maybe you guys didn't catch this last week, but you know what? Let's go out. Let's go to our favorite place on the planet. It's Friday night. What else do we want to do? Us basement dwellers. I know what you want to do. You were just hoping and praying that we would go out to. Let's go take a look at. Let's look at this real quickly. There's Pimbex, channel sponsor. We already talked about them. Thank you, Pimbex. Okay. I really love the company and everything I get from them. Gold price closed today at $2,390.90, up $33.66. That's kind of a strange number, $33.66, but hey, we'll take it, right? The silver price on July 5th, 2024, closed at $31.21, up 80 cents per ounce, just as all the basement dwellers and Ron's Basement predicted. And platinum up $24.57, north of $1,000 per ounce. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, here, let's go. U.S. Oh, and I got a crazy new website. I'll show you next. Okay, but. Oh no! Now I got to remember where it is. I'm gonna look foolish here. Where the heck was it? Somewhere here it is. It's in the middle. Hold on. Somewhere in here. Can you find it, guys? Here we go. Not U.S. union workers. U.S. Oh boy. Oh, this is what I get for not being prepared. Stay with me here. Anyway, here it is. U.S. workforce now. 160 million. This goes with what Silver Surfer just said. Let's if you hover over it, like my little yellow finger, says that's the total civilian non-farm labor force employment. There's 160 million people working in America. Guys, 5 ounces, 5 stinking ounces of silver is all it takes. Okay. If each one of those 161 million people bought 5 ounces of silver over the course of a year, that would wipe out the entire world's mining supply of silver for the year. I mean, that just shows that's a critical component that we often talk about. And we're going to talk about it again briefly right now, right? Because I don't know that if you're like me, I struggle sometimes. I forget these things. The silver market is tiny, itsy bitsy teeny weeny, right? We're at $30 silver, right? 1 billion ounces a year. Cause there's 850 roughly million from mines and about another 150 million from recycling. Let's say about 1 billion ounces, $30 billion. That's a drop in that's so small. You need a magnifying glass to see it. If you're looking at the S&P 500 or you're looking at the market cap of NVIDIA, whatever the heck that is, artificial intelligence. Well, artificial intelligence requires a lot of silver. Okay. Do you know, right? Do you know not only if every U.S. worker bought 5 ounces of silver that we'd wipe out all the silver in the world, but do you know that those fancy artificial intelligence web searches that I do all the time, I'm telling you, you got to use Chat GPT. It's incredible. You can ask it to do anything. Anyway, a Chat GPT or an AI search uses 10 times the amount of energy in processing that is like a Google, like a norm, like we're all getting old now, aren't we? How old are you, Buttercup? I'm 54. I'm feeling it. All right. But I'm still down here. I told you I'd do it every day because you're important. You're number one. Anyway, when us old folks, some of you are younger, some are older, but when you do one of those searches, that it uses way more. I mean, the whole silver thing is just out of control. Man, we're having some fun. We got 300 people out of the blue. Happy Friday. Doesn't feel like Friday, does it? Since yesterday was the 4th of July, it feels like zombie day, but that's okay. We'll take it because the silver price and the gold price are doing really, really great. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for giving this a thumbs up. Remember, it's nice to do something nice. Let's go. I want to introduce you to a crazy website. Okay. Mike Mahari is how somebody pointed it out to him, and I read an article he wrote about this. Very interesting. It's called WTF. You know what that stands for, basement dwellers. Happened in 1971. Right? I was 1 year old. So I remember what happened. Do you remember what happened? Then we'll talk about you know what happened. But if you don't know what happened in 1971, a lot changed. We'll leave it at that for now. But later in this broadcast, I'll share with you, my basement dwellers, what really happened in 1971. But look at some of these charts. Isn't this interesting? Growth in productivity in hourly compensation since 1948. The red arrows, 1971. Wow, productivity skyrocketed, right? Since, what is that, 55 years ago. 54 years, nonetheless. Okay, productivity went up, but compensation remained about the same. Compensation includes wages and benefits, blah, blah, blah. So what happened in 1971? Productivity went up. They worked people a lot harder. We got much more productivity out of the world, but our money didn't go up. Are you wondering what might have happened in 1971? Don't worry, I'll tell you in a little bit. Here we go. Real GDP, real wages, and trade policies in the United States. Okay. Look at this. Real GDP per capita. This is 1971. Everything was about equal. Excuse me. Okay, real GDP went up. All these things went up. Average real wages, a little bit, right? Real median weekly earnings of full-time workers based on CPI. That's the red line. Do you see that, right? GDP went through the roof, right? All this stuff went up, but the average median worker, they just kind of remained flat at best. Maybe even went down a little bit. Isn't that interesting? This really gets my income gains widely shared in the early post-war decades, but not since then. Hold on a second. Because as you can see by the red arrow that points to 1971, okay? This is the red down here is the, oh boy, I'm going to be in big, okay. Woof. Thought for a second I didn't have you guys on the screen with me. The red is the top 1% of earners. Look at this. Since 1971, that top 1%, wow, their income went way, way up. What about the bottom? Does it say 90%? Yeah, 90%. The blue line. Look at that. Oh, well, that's okay, right? It's like a long-term case of Bidenomics. That was Obamanomics, Bushonomics, Reaganomics, right? But what happened in 1971? This is very fascinating. We'll just look at one more, okay? Here, we'll go down to this one from Fred. I think that's the St. Louis Fed, right? Relentless 50-year decline in wages, share of economy's total incomes, right? So the wages in 1971 were about 52% of the total economy. Look how that's drop. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. There's chart after chart. I mean, it's crazy what happened. So what happened in 1971? I'll tell you what happened in 1971, guys. You know what happened in 1971. That's when President Nixon took the United States temporarily off the gold standard. And what it's resulted in, it makes me so angry, because what it resulted in was the fleecing of average Americans, your parents, my parents, right? Chances are you're not part of that red line that was part of the 1%. Chances are you're like me, right? You're just average, everyday American. That's the reality of the situation. Guys, we are in for this epic battle. I owe you a massive apology, because I'd been saying for the last 3-4 weeks that the summer doldrums had set in. And that's what the statistics have shown, right? June and July. But I think that we very likely could be in a position right now. What do you think, right? What do you think? Let me ask you, okay? What do you think? 4 weeks from today, 4 weeks, today's the 5th, so that'll be 28th. That'll be the 33rd of July. Well, that'll be like August 2nd, if my math is correct. Where do you think the silver price will be? Do you think, because by that point, if we are indeed hitting this epic battle, and I'll get back to my apology, by that point, we will be through. If we get through, I almost forgot the most important part, right? If we win this battle for $32, $33 silver in the coming weeks, okay? And again, I don't want to be negative, but I'm going to give it about a 33.8% chance. But if we do go up, right, first we got to get up there like another $1 per ounce, and then we're able to break free. And if in 4 weeks we are sitting here and we are at, oh, wow, look at these, $30 an ounce, $40 an ounce, Alistair. But if we're sitting at $34, $35 per ounce, it could be a rocket ship ride, okay? Okay, to me, does it make sense to you why we can go from 34 to 44, lickety split, right? Does it make sense? Because there's just no big selling pressure up there, right? And it's not just us that realizes this. It's the smartest, like, technical analysts, the people that understand how the markets work, right? There's just not a lot of people out there waiting for $38 silver to sell their silver. Sure, there'll be some people selling the chicken littles, and we'll have some consolidation and back and I mean, it's not going to go straight up. But the reality is there are not millions of people who bought silver when silver was at $40, because I got news for you, Eisenhower. Look at a chart. Right? Silver was at $40, $42, hardly any time at all over the last 50 years. Everybody talks about this right here. Let's pull this up. There we go. Right? Everybody talks about 1980. Silver hit $50 an ounce. Everybody talks about 2011. Silver hit $50 an ounce. Well, I'm going to show you something. We're going to go on another little trip here. Hold on. Just bear with me. Stay with me. And let's go back here to Trading View, and let's go to an all-time chart of silver. If it'll do it for me. Oh, there we go. Okay, look, guys. Look, this is 1980. Look how silver went, right? Rocket ship, and right back down. So here's $40. Okay, here's my example. Stay with me here. You see where that yellow cross is? Well, here, I'll draw another line. I know you love lines. Here. This is fun. Okay, let's go up to $40 silver, right about there, okay? And let's draw a line across. Okie dokie, Smokey. Look, that was like one day or 1 week or whatever in 1980. Do you think there's a lot of people sitting around saying, I bought silver for $42 an ounce back in November of 1979, and I'm going to sell it when it gets to $40 again? Well, I got news for you anyway. If that guy existed, he would have done it here in 2011 when silver again just very temporarily was above $40 an ounce. Okay. What the point here is, these are very brief periods of time where very few people bought silver. Hey, while we're here, hold on a second. We got more stuff to look at. Here we go. Hold on. Remove 4 drawings. Okay. Let's do it. Well, here, I'll do it with this. While we're here, since it's one of our favorite things to do, don't forget, boys and girls, follow that red line, because what is that forming? A giant cup. Okay. And then what is this forming? A handle. Okay. Now, that's the most powerful charting pattern in the history of the world. If we get up into that $40, and then the next battle will be at $50, okay? If this gets up to here at some point and gets through there, and remember, triple tops are very rare, then it goes, you can't see, but it goes up, the silver that's when we get triple digit silver, okay? Now, hold on here. Get rid of that. Let me show you one more thing that I think's, why is that not working? Close. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Let's go to a 5-year chart on silver. Now we'll do this one. We'll do the all again. Over here in the handle, remember we showed earlier, we broke out of the wedge. If you look here, and some people will dispute this, but to me it's there and it's real. If you follow my finger, that's an upside down head and shoulders pattern. Shoulder, head, shoulder, that we've also broken out of. So, man, I'm telling you, when it comes to silver, and we haven't even really talked about gold, right? I mean, the gold chart, guys, let's go back here. You want to feel good about something? Let's take a look at this. Okay. Let's go to the gold price. Hold on. Hey, there's a Home Depot ad. You want to hear an interesting fact about silver? Hold on 1 second. Let me fix my voice. I have a very interesting fact for you about silver that we'll investigate here in just 1 second. Look at gold, $2,400 per ounce. Let's look at the gold chart on Yahoo Finance. Oh, there's a 5-year chart of gold. This was the triple top that we talked about in gold, right? And how it relates right about here, right? Now here, I can draw a line for you. This, I think, will work. Hold on. Yep. Okay. Yeah, right here. Right. Remember this? This is how things work. $2,000. So we'd hit it back in what, 2020, and then we hit it again roughly. What was that? 2022, and then in 2023. Right. And then finally we broke out of it. This was probably that December. Guys, remember, just back in December with gold, I got the Christmas tree right behind me. I can show it to you. Proof, hold on a second. I'm going to give you a little different view of the basement. And here we go. Okay. All right. You're going to move. So hold on. All right. There you go. We're going over. See the Christmas tree? All right, let me see if I can point that out. See that sign right there? That says $2,100 gold. Okay, that's what we were hoping for Christmas. Now we're at $2,400. So the gold chart, okay, it broke out and then it came back. And now, as you know, we're off to the races. I believe also, hold on here, escape. Okay, let's look at this. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at that quickly. This is not a charting show, but this relates to silver as well. This is the long-term gold chart. Okay. Remember the cup and handle in silver, right? And how it breaks out. Here's the long-term. Hold on a minute. That's not showing. Long-term cup. And then we got the handle, and this is wrong. Really, now the price is about right here, $2,400. So we can expect that in the silver price as well. It's going to be super, unbelievable, interesting. The massive news next week, right? And it will be big. It will be big news. Will be the inflation. But I'm telling you guys, I had a little birdie told me, one of the little birdies up here. I'm curious what you think. But the inflation, I predicted that the employment number would be bad this week. Now, the employment number technically was good, so I was wrong in that regard, but really the unemployment rate went up. And I said that I thought that the price of silver and gold, that we could have a big day today. Look, I am not sitting down here bragging, because I am often wrong, and I did not make any kind of bet on that I benefited from. But nonetheless, I'm going to tell you with the same level of confidence, my gut. Okay, I'm curious how you feel about it. But next week, the big news is going to be Thursday next week, the inflation number. And if that inflation number comes in lower than expected, they're going to be so happy, right? Oh, it's what the market wants. It's what we need 5 months before an election, when we don't really know who our candidate is. And we don't know if our candidate even knows if he is a candidate, but I digress. Nonetheless, it could be crazy town. Right? It could be the catalyst. I said, right, that what happened today with the employment number could be the catalyst for an early summer rally. And I'm happy to say that I'm surprised that we're having this early summer rally. But guys, we can't forget how screwed up things are right now. I mean, absolutely screwed up. And as a result, things are going to happen much more quickly. Now, we could be in for some scary things happening in the next 4 to 5 months. We've talked about that as well. The first 6 months of the year was a nothing burger, an absolute nothing burger from like a big event or big whatever. And with everything going on with the election and all that, don't rule anything out, right? Be safe, right? Be mentally prepared. Right? Be prepared, but also be prepared for the fact that we could see a massive rally, right? In the silver. Guys, I know you're sick of hearing this. I know you're tired of me telling you this, but it can happen. It can happen. $100 silver can happen, right? I mean, we talked earlier about how now, we're in as bad a fiscal and monetary situation as we were at the end of World War II, when we first came out of the Great Depression, right? We came out of the Great Depression, we fought a world war, right? And we were in a financial situation that was probably better than where we are right now. We're in a worse situation right now, but whoa, wait, there's more. But wait, there is more. So important to remember, right? That if you compare now what's happening to the 1970s. Oh, remember the 70s? Right? Remember the 70s? I'll tell you what happened in the 1970s. Here, I got it. Hold on. Bear with me. I have these notes. I got more notes. Notesy notes here. In the 1970s, it's right here. Right? That pink. In the 1970s, silver rose from under $1.50 per ounce in 1970 to nearly $50 per ounce in 1980. Thus, silver rose by more than 25 times, or more than 2,400% during that period. Every single fiat money system ever created has gone bust. Period. End of story. Mic drop. Every single country that ever got to a debt to GDP ratio like we are right now failed. I don't like to say it, and maybe they got some more unicorn farts they can squeeze out and make everybody think everything's great. Oh, the stock market's doing great. Yeah, my stock, my 401k is doing great. Yeah. Well, that's great. That's great. Do you have any idea what you actually own? Right? Ask somebody that. So they don't know. It's like if you put a sheet of music in front of me, I can't read it. It's a bunch of funny symbols. I have a rough idea, about the same level of rough idea that most people have of what they own when they own stocks in the stock market. Back to the 1970s. It can happen. And I want you to think about this. I want you to think about something very important. Very important. Remember that data I just shared with you? And gold went up similar-ish type amount. Gold went crazy during that period. Okay. But so I want you to think about something right now. And that is that the situation that we are in right now in this country, not because of you, I'm not mad at you. I'm not. All right. I'm not mad at you. I don't like that press secretary for the Biden administration. And I don't like Jerome Powell because Gomer Pyle is really ripped off the average American. And it wasn't just him. I don't completely blame him, but nonetheless, right? You got to remember one key fundamental fact, right? That the situation we're in right now, when compared to the 1970s, is much more critical, much more extreme. In the 1970s, we were still ruling the world. Okay. There was no BRICS. There was no movement afoot in the world to move away from the US dollar. Right. We had some wars going on, but nothing like what's happening now in the Middle East or in Europe. Right. Nothing. This situation that we're in right now is different. It is different. All right. Things are different this time and they're worse. So we could see, right? I understand. I know you have a hard time. People get mad at me. I get hate mail, right? You keep talking about $100 silver. Hey, Buttercup, I'll talk about 200. I'll talk about 500. In theory, we could be talking about infinity high silver and gold for that matter. The other difference, think about this. Think about this. I want you to think the other difference between now and the 1970s, guess what? The Chinese people weren't buying like mobs and gobs of gold. I mean, have you seen what is going on in Asia with gold? Right? And the same thing with silver. I mean, they're using more. Wait till you see the data I have tomorrow. More crazy data about solar. I mean, it's unbelievable, but I digress. In the 1970s, we didn't have the Chinese into India buying the amount of gold and silver. Yes, they've always loved gold and silver, but guys, in 1970, no offense to China and India, but they were like third world countries, right? I mean, do you remember? I remember in the mid 90s when China first started, like people started recognizing that China was growing. I mean, that was the mid 90s. And even then it was like, yeah, it's all a bunch of cheap. That's what people would say. It's a bunch of cheap stuff that comes from China. And it kind of was, but that's different now. Now China and India are world powers. So that's different compared to the 70s. I never even thought about that. Thank you for being here and helping me learn something new. That's what us basement dwellers do. Leave some comments in the comment section. Show the pics, boss. Oh, you mean of China people buying gold? Yeah, and we can look for, hold on. Okay, for you, Jake, anything. Sorry, guys. It's hard for me to read the comment. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Bear with me. There we go. Okay. Yeah, look. See? Over there. My finger won't go on the screen. Over there. That's 800,000 Chinese people. That's not the Shanghai Gold Exchange. That's a shopping mall. A shopping mall. And what are they doing? Right? I know, because I know one of the people that's in that picture. That person right there. See him? See that guy? I can't zoom in, but if you zoom in closely, that guy has a ding dong in his hand. That's Coin Shop Chris. We love our friend Coin Shop Chris, right? He's over there. Yeah, no, but seriously, I do want to say this quickly about Coin Shop Chris. Has his own channel, Coin Shop Chris, on YouTube. We're trying to get him to 1,000 subscribers. He deserves it. He's like the nicest, most honest, good guy. And if there's anybody who loves silver and gold, it's Coin Shop Chris. So please go check out his channel and subscribe. Okay. Yeah, but those are the Chinese people. That's not the Shanghai Gold Exchange. That's a Shanghai shopping mall or a Chinese shopping mall. Does that compute? Not to mention, right? We know what's going on in the Shanghai Gold Exchange. It's crazy. It's absolute crazy time. Thank you for being here, guys. Thank you, everybody. I thought Chris carried a Barbie. Yeah, we used to joke around and say Coin Shop Chris loves Barbies. He got mad. I didn't get mad at me for that. We haven't talked about that for a while. We'll resurrect that. Okay. You guys have a great night. Okay. I should be back tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Okay. And I'll see you soon.